Good afternoon and welcome to the Midday News. This bulletin is coming to you live from the Joy 99.7 FM studios, Kokomlemle in Accra, at digital address GA0993341. Also live on Love 99.5 FM in Kumasi, affiliates across the country, including Pad FM in Damongo, Jubilee FM in Keta, and Sunshine FM in Boko. It's on ABN Radio in London and around the world at myjoyonline.com. The news is brought to you by Telesol 4G, just a touch. UMB Bank, UMB Speed Up, DigiBank, let's go. Coming up, it's been 7 months, 11 days since the first girl went missing in Takoradi, and the families are accusing the Akufo-Addo administration of lack of commitment to find these girls.
We asked President Akufo-Addo to set up a committee to investigate this matter.
We'll hear from them as they demand the status of investigations by security agencies in finding their relatives.
The state security or the police are keeping us in the dark. We don't know how far the investigation has gone. It's been 7 months, 11 days since our sister and the other girls disappeared, and up to now we don't know what is going on.
Also in this bulletin,
the doctor came in to examine the wounds. And we found 4 deep cuts on his back and then 1 very deep cut on the upper part of his left shoulder. The doctor said we came in late and it was dead.
Chilling stories of how criminals are attacking and killing residents in Mile 7 and Tantra Hill dominates concerns as Joy News reporters tell stories from their communities in series titled Joy in Your Community.
Just of 6, 7, 8, it's so scary. You can't pass there. We need the aid of the police. I guess it's their job to, protect us.
Also, Accra High Court overturns bail granted Gregory Afoko over the alleged murder of NPP Upper East Regional Chairman Adams Mahama. We hear from his lawyers who are questioning the decision of the court.
I'm very surprised that a High Court of coordinate jurisdiction will rescind the bail granted to Greg Afoko when same has been appealed again. So I'm wondering the jurisdiction with which she rescinded the decision.
Mounting pressure on government to release investigative report on former Ghana Maritime boss Kwame Owusu as some governance experts question his latest appointment.
In this instance, we do not have that particular investigations report. The minister promised us a probe. Why tell us we are going to probe and not tell us what the probe said? Or is it that the government is scared to tell us it's been cleared so they'll be accused of clearing?
And in sports,
ahead of the final of the 2019 Africa Cup of Nations on Friday, one of the respected coaches on the continent, Pitso Mosimane in South Africa, has heaped praise on Algeria for reaching their first final in 19 years.
And we're also live in Kumasi, where family and friends of NDC activist who was killed at the party office in Kumasi demand justice. There's more here on the Midday News with me, Emefa Apau. And it's been 7 months, 11 days since the first girl, Priscilla Blessing Mentum, went missing in Takoradi in the Western region. The second, Ruth Love Kwesen, has been gone for 7 months, 11 days, like I said, and 6 months. Priscilla Kranche has not been found. Families of these 3 girls say they are fed up with seeming assurances and lack of information from security agencies on status of investigations in finding their girls. At a joint press conference this morning in Accra, a brother of one of the girls called on President Akufo-Addo to constitute a committee to thoroughly investigate the case.
We asked President Akufo-Addo, the Commander-in-Chief, to set up a committee to investigate this matter as soon as possible.
Now, sister of Ruth Love Kwesen, Nana Ajua Kwesen, told my colleague Kujo Yankson they've received no updates from the police on the progress of the investigation a month after a second suspect was arrested in connection with the disappearances. She adds liaison officers assigned to update their family on progress of the case have not contacted them in several months.
The state security or the police are keeping us in the dark. We don't know how far the investigation has gone. We've not heard anything from anyone. So we don't know whether they are still on investigation or they've left the guys there. Even just last month, we went to the Takoradi Central Police Station to find out how far they've gone with the investigation. They told us that they don't have any news.
What's the name of your liaison officer?
I don't even know their names. They came around with 2 of them, but they told us that one should be among them. But when they came, she was not around. Yeah, so when they start to come to the house, we will see the one who was not around. But since that time, we've not seen or heard from any of them. They even took our contact, but still now we've not, even the last time we...
Have the authorities told you about that?
They have not told us anything. Even if it was not the media, like we would have known that they've arrested the second suspect, which is John.
Now, the families are also making other demands. They say authorities should be forthright with how one of the suspects involved in the kidnapping, Samuel Udotek Wills, escaped from police custody, as well as why police officers mentioned as being aiding the suspect escaped.
The second Division Police Commander has been transferred, including the Divisional Commander and our CID who was handling our case has been transferred. So we've not been given any information. So we don't know, even the current one, when the first victim family went there, the man told them that he doesn't have any information.
The families have threatened to demonstrate on the 10th of August if they do not hear anything from government on the investigations.
Almost about 2,000. On the 10th of August 2019, we'd put more than 2,000 youths on the street to demonstrate, and we won't ask for permit. Because
now, but before that, Western Regional Correspondent Inathalia Kwanzaa says the Assemblies of God Church has begun a 10-day fasting with hopes their prayers would find the girls. Inathalia Kwanzaa joins us on the phone lines with more on this. Now, we know the purpose for the prayers and fasting, but how are relatives embracing the spiritual exercise?
Yeah, so MFF, this is not the first time the church is doing such thing, but this time they believe that God would have to answer their prayers by fire. So all three families are involved in this fasting. They will meet this evening at the church to pray for over 3 hours, and then they will continue tomorrow morning. So this evening, Joy News will join them as they end today's fasting and prayer.
Well, but in all this, though, the Regional Police Command, we know that was a press conference today. Have we heard anything from them at all at that level?
No, nothing has been said about that.
Well, that's Inathalia Kwanzaa, our Western Regional Correspondent, and the campaign is on #Bring Back Our Tardy Girls. And we are saying here at Joy News that if you see something, please say something.
Sadness for the parent. Well, I am not sad. Mine is anger, and I expect you to be angry. The kind of anger that will make state agencies act swiftly as they should. In the meantime, we're still looking for the girls.
Imagine waking up one morning with a dream, with a hope. Maybe you just want to live your life, and then sometime during the day, somebody just kidnaps you, and all these dreams are extinguished. We need your help.
These are three mothers looking for three daughters. We need to find our girls.
Bring back our tardy girls.
Bring back our tardy girls.
And the search for Priscilla Blessing Bintum, Ruth Love Quason, and Priscilla Mansibia Crunchy continues. This is the midday news here on Joy 99.7 FM. Now, an Accra High Court has annulled the bail granted Gregory Afoko, the alleged murderer of NPP Upper East Regional Chairman Adams Mahama. This follows an application made by Chief State Attorney Marina Apiopare. She told the court hearing the murder case that Mr. Afoko will not show up for trial if the court does not rescind the bail granted him over 3 months ago by a different High Court. Joseph Akablay was in court and joins us live. So what did the judge say informed her decision to overturn that bail?
In fact, her response was quite brief. She only said that based on the facts that have been presented to her, she is of the opinion that the bail granted him should be rescinded. The lawyers for Mr. Afoko had argued that the circumstance of this particular case does not make it possible for the judge to grant the request that was being made by the Chief State Attorney, because they informed the court that there was another High Court of the same level that had heard this particular matter and granted him bail. So if for nothing, if they want to rescind that bail application, they should either take it to a higher court or they should take it to the same judge for that judge to determine. They again made the point that the Court of Appeal is already having this matter before it. The state has appealed the decision to set aside the bail that was granted him, and so the judge should not pronounce on that. But the judge disagreed and proceeded to rescind the bail granted him by another High Court.
But after it all, though, you've been interacting with lawyers for Gregory Afoko. What's been their reaction overall?
They say that they are actually shocked with this decision coming from the court. You can listen to the spokesperson and a member of the legal team, Nana Yawusu.
I'm very surprised that a high court of coordinate jurisdiction will rescind the bill granted to Greg Afuk when same has been appealed against. There's a pending appeal in respect of the bill granted to Greg Afuk. So I'm wondering the jurisdiction with which she rescinded the decision. I am surprised, very, very surprised. We will deal with it appropriately. Today was for the trial to begin. At least the paneling of the jurors and everything was to have been done today. And what we are told is that come next Wednesday, the jurors will be empaneled. And then the matter will continue from there. But for the court to rescind the bail, we are very much surprised. He was discharged this morning and brought to court. Whether he was actually fully fit or not, they were interested in bringing him to court than considering his health.
What do you intend to do about this particular decision that the court has rendered today?
Oh, clearly, we will look at it and then we will determine the next line of action. But clearly, something must be done about it. Or something will be done about it.
You heard there Nanaya Owusu is a spokesperson and a member of the legal counsel of Gregory Afoko speaking to court correspondent Joseph Akable. Now, he was stabbed multiple times with a knife, and when that failed to weaken him, his attacker used a pickaxe to strike him in his back, killing him instantly. That's the story of Dennis Kwesi, who was murdered in the presence of his 6-year-old daughter on Christmas Day as he resisted attempts by armed robbers to snatch his vehicle. It is one of many crimes confronting residents of the twin communities, Tantra Hill and Achimota Mile 7. Joy News editor Fred Smith lives in the community and brings us the first in a series of reports focusing on the terror visited on residents by armed robbers. It is titled Joy in Your Community.
Residents here have had to endure the terror of armed robbers who usually come on motorbikes. Dennis Kwesi, a 45-year-old father of 5, died on Christmas Day last year. His brother, Nana Dadzi, was the first to visit the scene.
We found his body when we went to the back of the building. The doctor came in to examine the wounds. So he turned his back and we found four cuts, deep cuts on his back, and then one very deep cut on the upper part of his left shoulder. And then the doctor said we came in late and he was dead.
The robbers ambushed Dennis as he returned home from hospital, where one of his daughters had been receiving treatment.
So later on, the police came to the house, and then we found that there was a pickaxe behind the house. There was blood on the point of the pickaxe, according to them, that is what they used to pierce him so deep. Then he had internal bleeding.
This is only one of many such attacks which have happened to residents of Mile 7 and Tantra Hill in recent times.
They usually come out either early in the morning or late at night when the roads are quiet and there's less attention. I was working on my laptop and they surfaced with a cutlass. Like a few seconds, I analyzed the guy and realized that I could take him on. So I did. Fortunately for me, he had to run away because there were a few guys who had seen it from a distance and were rushing with sticks.
That thing has been happening right at the Roman school, Ola school, that cave. Just after 6, 7, 8, it's so scary. You can't pass there. We need the aid of the police. I guess it's their job to, protect us.
For Joy News, Fred Smith, the twin communities of Tantra Hill and Mile 7.
And Fred Smith joins us in studio with more on this joy in our community. Will tell us more about joy in our community, though. But Tantra Hill, Mile 7, I didn't know you had armed robbery situations in there. Right?
Yes, it's a very serious issue, and the residents there are really unhappy about the way armed robbers are attacking them from day to day. There's a particular case I came across in this report.
The mobile money vendor?
Mobile money vendor who's been attacked about 5 times. Last year, when they had been attacked 3 times, we did a report. Yeah. So security came in, and then when the security went down again, they've experienced 2 more attacks. The other one not too long ago. And I also met a gentleman who runs a boutique in the area. He's been robbed 3 times. He's reported many times to the police anytime it's happened. But he says he's lost faith because anytime he reports, there's no solution to it. He ends up spending so.
But I heard the residents also tell you that it mostly happens in the mornings, early mornings, and late at night.
Indeed, there's a gentleman who was attacked in December last year, and he was attacked just before 5 a.m.
Okay.
He had gone somewhere, was returning home. These men attacked him. They fired shots at him. He was lucky to have been able to escape these shots. So that's when these things happen. But we've also experienced issues of robbery right in the afternoon. The mobile money vendor I told you about, their case happened in the afternoon. They actually don't operate beyond 7 p.m. But in the afternoon, these things happen.
Okay, but it looks like there's double agony for residents, though. It's not just armed robbery. Your roads are bad.
Yeah, roads are indeed very bad. Drivers are complaining all over. And I spoke to the MP for the area who said that some of the roads have already been given out on contract. And so there was inspection there 2 weeks ago. The MP came round with the contractor to see how they will be able to start. It's something the municipal chief executive also referred to when we spoke to her this morning, that some of the roads have been awarded on contract and therefore we should see some action on that.
And you spoke to the authorities. What did they say about security and the roads?
Well, in terms of security, the MC is saying that they're going to fix street lights in the area and also get the police to increase their numbers on the streets.
Okay. Well, that's our Joy News editor, Fred Smith, there telling stories from his community. You will hear stories from our communities as well. But talk of roads, though, there's an area that is gained popularity for the bad roads. It's dusty homes, broken down vehicles, and the risk of respiratory tract infections. Those are just a few of the things residents of the Lejokuku Krowo municipality have to deal with as a result of the bad roads. The residents accuse the president's government of promising to fix the roads he voted into power. The residents say the situation is affecting everyone in the community, including children. Super Morning Show host Daniel Dazi rode on the back of a tricycle along the bumpy stretch, and our reports.
It's a dusty ride and it's a bumpy ride here on the road stretching from Manette near Spintex to the Lekma Hospital for the thousands of residents of the area who have to use this route to access Accra. This is a usual occurrence, though of course they are often sitting in the comforts of a vehicle. They say they've spoken to authorities repeatedly over the years and they've just about had enough.
We are pleading with government in the name of God to come and do something about our bad roads. It's even worse when it rains. No car plies this route. Even when it's time for children to even go to school, they're unable to do so because the roads are bad. Our MP came here during elections. He campaigned about this road, but after elections, nothing has been done.
Almost every day, even I have cold, that's I speak to you. And every morning you have to wash your car. If you're not able to wash your car, you can't use it. And the road is so bad that you always will have to go to Abosukai, check on your shocks. And now, if you buy the home use shocks, they are not good. You have to buy a brand new shock. My house is just here. When you go to the whole place, almost everybody have to clean. And I'm an allergic to dust. And so it is worrying us. We've been making noise, talking, and nothing has been done about it. We voted for MPP because of this. We didn't want, because the NDC couldn't do anything about it. And it has been there for some time, and then we thought if the NPP comes to power, they'll do this thing for us.
The MP here knows the nature of the road. He's been using the road sometimes.
Today you'll be running on this road, tomorrow you are at a shop. It looks as if this place is not part of Ghana.
The frustration of residents and road users is obvious. And one might think that looking at the condition of this road, it may be justified. Even more worrying is the existence of this health installation, the Lekma Hospital, on this very stretch. One would wonder what a drive or a ride to this hospital for a pregnant woman may be. Daniel Daze, Teshi.
Now, the MC for the area, Ajele Chum Jamra, has some answers.
We have a very bad, this one, we have a big pothole at the first junction. So today they are coming to do that one and some of the inner roads. They've started with the King Kote's road to the Methodist Governor School road at the moment.
You mentioned twice in our conversation that this road is beyond the assembly, but then you mentioned again that it's an urban roads project.
Yes.
But isn't urban roads decentralized to the assemblies so that you are going with your road engineer who works at urban roads?
Urban roads at head office. They have reassigned the contract.
Urban roads has reassigned the contract, but
yes,
your road engineer will be supervising that. The road engineer you work with.
Yes, yes.
So how is it beyond you?
Well, until they do the work, then he can do the supervision. But when there's no work done, well, that is the reason why I've told you today we are going there.
So you have the MC for Lejokuku Krowo Municipal District, Ajele Chum Jamra, joined the campaign to fix this particular road this time, and it's on the hashtag Fix Lekma Now, and the campaign is on the SMS on Joy, and of course the AM show on the Joy News channel on Multi TV. Now, there's mounting pressure on government to release an investigative report on former Ghana Maritime Authority boss Kwame Owusu following President Akufo-Addo's decision to appoint him as board chairman of the Ghana Revenue Authority. Some legal and governance experts have questioned the latest appointment, especially in the wake of concerns that the Transport Ministry has not provided details of an investigation it conducted into allegations. Mr. Owusu had supervised the renovation of his 2-bedroom official residence at the cost of 1 million Ghana cedis. Listen to him when the issue came up.
1 million Ghana cedis that has been used to renovate a 2-bedroom house for the Director General. Construction period pictures, the auditors were there day and night taking pictures of construction and then came out the building. And let me tell you, that building is now made out of 4 bedrooms of the main structure, the main house. A living room, a dining room, kitchen, a family room, a library.
Well, some legal and governance experts are demanding government releases the investigative report to put the questions on the minds of many to rest. Listen to Dr. Eric Odrosai, Professor Ransford Jampo, and Ace Ananankuma on this.
It would not be wrong to ask for the report because it is very important. Okay. Because it helps Ghanaians to also make informed decisions. When we are going to pay taxes and he's going to head an institution, but it will also be unfair to him for us to say that he cannot head that institution because we don't have the legal basis to prevent him from heading. So it's a chicken and egg situation. Institutions that have responsibility to undertake acts or to undertake investigations, to undertake detailed research to support us to make decisions must do their work. And in this instance, we do not have that particular investigations report.
The problem with this particular administration regime is that they don't put out information. They don't know how to communicate and they don't put out information. And so we don't know. We are all operating in a kind of opacity. He may have been cleared, and the president is privy to certain information that is not in the public domain. It's in their own interest to let us know the reason why, in spite of all these, the president is still bringing. I think that the president has counselors, the president is wise, the president knows what is going on. And so you should put out that information, the information that is compelling him to bring the same man out there, so that we can interrogate it and be able to make informed decision as to whether the president's decision to bring him back is right or is wrong.
The minister promised us a probe. Why tell us we are going to probe and not tell us what the probe said? Was he cleared? If so, why were we not told? Or is it that the government is scared to tell us he's been cleared so they'll be accused of clearing? Now, the allegations related to spending. Was it spending that was did they go in accordance with procedure, whether it was 1 or 20 air conditioners? Was there over expenditure? Has there been an audit? Was there conflict of interest?
You heard there some legal and governance experts speaking on news analysis show Newsfile, and it's because Mr. Kwame Usu has been appointed as the board chair of the Ghana Revenue Authority. Well, government remains tight-lipped on this matter as several calls by Joy News to the Transport Ministry for some reaction to these calls have gone unanswered. We'll continue to follow up on this as and when we get the authorities, we'll bring it to you. This is the Midday News here on Joy 99.7 FM. We'll take a quick break. When we return, we'll head to the Ashanti region where family and friends of NDC activists who was killed at the party office in Kumasi demand justice.
Let's go, My name is Kwame Sefakai, and most of you know me as a media personality, but I am also a family man. The UMB mobile banking app, UMB Speed App, saves me so much time by letting me do almost all of my banking transactions on my phone. The cardless withdrawal feature allows me to withdraw cash from any UMB ATM without an ATM card. I can also pay bills, transfer money, request for a loan, invest money, and so much more. So now, I can spend less time at the bank and more time with the ones I love. Bank anywhere and anytime with a UMB mobile banking app, UMB Speed App, and get the time to do what you love most. Download the UMB Speed App from your Android, iOS, or Windows phone today. Call 0302-633-988 for more information. UMB Speed App, Digibank, let's go!
Thanks for staying with us here on the Midday News. Let's do sports now with Ridwan.
Yes, Algeria reached the final, that's the affairs final of the Africa Cup of Nations last night after a late 2-1 win against Nigeria. Captain Riyad Mahrez whipped in a free kick in the 95th minute to secure the win. Algeria have many admirers, and that includes Mamelodi Sundowns coach Pitso Mosimani. The PSL winner is impressed with the title know-how of the Desert Foxes.
The Super Eagles never played the way they always play. It's like they over-respected Algeria, and they never got into the number 17 of Algeria, who passed the ball a lot. And Benassia, I think, is a new star. We should give him credit. The boy came up. He was playing as an 8 and a really number 8 coming in. I mean, the shot he had that hit with the goalpost. But it's also helped by Belail from Esperance, who's intelligent, a 3-man midfield. And Mahrez, sometimes you close him outside, he goes inside because he's left from the side, he goes inside like Mohamed Salah.
You heard Pitso Mosimani, his coach for Mamelodi Sundowns in South Africa. Algeria think this year could be their year, their first final in 19 years. And remember that it was this year that they peacefully protested and removed President Abdulaziz Bouteflika. And so Algerians home and in the diaspora feel a Nations Cup trophy is what will reward them for that feat.
Thank you very much, Ridwan. Now, family and friends of the NDC activist Abdul Wasiu, who was killed earlier this year, are accusing the party leadership of lack of commitment to ensure their slain brother gets justice. He was shot dead by attackers at the Ashanti regional head office of the opposition NDC in February this year. At the time, the police indicated the 4 suspects alleged to be part of an NDC vigilante group, the Hawks, are behind the attack. Today, youth have been burning ties to express their displeasure over what they call delayed justice. We'll bring you more in our subsequent bulletins. But patrons have described this year's Joy, Beauty and Bridal Fair as hugely successful. The fair, which has been described by patrons and exhibitors as the most exciting, ended with an insightful marriage seminar and was beautifully crowned with a fashion show.
As the saying goes, everything that has a beginning has an end. And for the Joy, Beauty and Bridal Fair, the end has been magnificent, according to patrons who said they have had mind-blowing experiences. After a fantastic opening of the 2019 annual event by Joy FM, here is the happy ending. A fashion show within a marriage seminar. Step aside, Naomi Campbell. The Annans just took over.
It was nerve-wracking. I mean, I couldn't look at anybody in the audience. It was interesting. I think we just decided to have fun.
Well, I think that, look, it's been pretty much more than we had all imagined, and I think that it's something that if you never experienced, that you missed a lot, and make it a point to be here next year.
I wasn't sure myself until I finished it, but thankfully I did not trip, and so I survived.
I'm seeing myself as Naomi Campbell for today. It feels wonderful. It feels good, and I can't wait to do this again.
I feel like getting married already, you know? Yeah, seeing all these nice kente and things. I feel like a groom, you know? And yeah, soon you will hear that me too, I'll be tying a knot on the bridal fair stage.
Joy FM promised and they delivered. I'm glad I was part of this historic event. I hope you don't miss out on the subsequent editions.
We definitely won't, and we are looking forward to that one. That's Rebecca Dako, host of E with Bex on Joy Prime. And what's trending on social media, Maps?
Well, it seems like people are still talking about the Black Stars and Kwesi Appiah. Gary Alsman says Ghana's biggest selling newspaper says Kwesi Appiah will stay. Would love to know the reasons. Not sure it is the right thing. Was against his reappointment, and my reasons have been vindicated. He's a gentleman, but not what is needed as a coach. And this one is from at B Manu Felix, who says, if we still want a local coach, why not try someone else? And at Halunu_1 says, so Kwesi Appiah won't resign. Which matter be this? We go start hashtag drop that coach.
And that's it for the midday news. We are not dropping it just yet. There's more news when you log on to myjoyonline.com. I am Emefa Apau. Thanks so much for your company. Enjoy the working week.